They're just going to be like, I don't even know what the point. There's no government, so why am I paying? And then all of a sudden, we just see what, like April 2025 record low tax filing, something from people who just don't think there's a government anymore.
He's just giving scenarios here. That's not happening, because one of the big takeaways from today is most everybody still believes in the system. There's no call to leave the system. There's no call. Everyone's talking about this banana republic. If you live in a banana republic, wouldn't the first thing you want to do is to leave the banana republic? You're not trying to take it over. I mean, the leader of much of the dissident part of this country is potentially going to be locked up. I think he will be. I think that's what the judge is going to do. I think the judge is going to do, I think it's July 11th or something like that. Is it July? I think it was July 11th sentencing. So he's convicted. Next part is sentencing, to my knowledge. And what I expect is 6 months, some type of, maybe more. I don't know. He could do 4 years for each one. So he could do up to 136, I think, 136 years. I don't see that, because I think they would want to do it. But if you do that, the more you do, the more people wake up. I mean, one of the things that woke me up was the Charlottesville lie. When I watched MSNBC all the time, and then I thought that was a fact, the way that they did it, both sides lie. And I couldn't believe it when I actually saw what he said. I couldn't believe. I'm like, would they really lie about something like that? It just wakes you up. And maybe the trial verdict will a little bit, but the problem is everything is curated online. So who is it going to wake up? It's not spilling out of that echo chamber. That's why you saw a lot of big accounts on X. They tried to make it spill out of the echo chamber, but you can't. It's almost like somebody on there, I think it was Jay Bhattacharya, one of the doctors that was very, vocal against the pandemic nonsense. And he was talking about, I think, the government censoring speech. And I was like, we're trying to expose the government for censoring speech on a platform where the government censors speech online. It's just not going to work. I'm not knocking Jay. I do the same thing, but it's not going anywhere. So they have that siloed really good. So I think people are saying, well, there are all these donations coming in, all that. I don't know how much this is leaking out. Tim seems to think that it is. I don't think it's leaking out anywhere. It's bouncing off the walls between you and me and everybody else who already kind of is open to these discussions. That's the power of controlling online. So you're not going to see people stop paying their taxes. They believe in the system. Donald Trump didn't have to show up to arraignment. Why did he show up to arraignment? For what? He has Secret Service protection. I would rather, to me, that would have earned me some respect. I'm not voting for a Zio, so that's out. I'm on a Zio-free diet, so there would be no voting for Trump, but I would have more respect. But I'm not against Trump, obviously. But I would have more respect if he would have said, let's just pop this pimple. I ain't showing up for arraignment. We're going to have to take this straight to the Supreme Court. Or you've got men with weapons they're going to have to face off. And you saw that they were ready to do that. With the Mar-a-Lago raid instructions, they were ready. The cabal tried to say it was a template. So the template said use lethal force. Use lethal force if necessary, basically paraphrasing, in the instructions for the raid. And then they tried to say, well, it was just a template. A template? That whether it was a template or not, that's what was in the document. So they were obviously ready for men with weapons to be pointing at each other. And I think Trump should have had it go to that, because I think that would have been a standoff and that would have rushed it to the Supreme Court, in my opinion. You give the court legitimacy, Trump deserves all of this. He can still stop it. He doesn't have to show up for sentencing at all. I wouldn't show up for sentencing. Why would he show up for this sham? It's been proven to be a sham. And for those who think it's legit, I don't even have any. Why would I argue with you? It's just like the election. You think it's legit. I don't. Okay. Why can't we just respect both of our opinions and then understand we can't share a country together. Bobby Ballbag says, I don't see a way out. There's definitely a way out. It's not soon, though. But I pray. So what I pray for is that it's a peaceful way out. But there's definitely a way out. They will keep believing in it until it shows up to their door. Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking about this with when Tim said, you got your families, you got your kids, you're doing all this work stuff. You hear about this conviction, you're like, damn, this messed up. They convicted, Trump impeached twice. All these things, FISA courts, spied on, literally spied on. Nobody, no problems with it. There's no consequences for it. Illegal spying on Trump before he even became president. All these different firsts than the Mar-a-Lago raid and all these other firsts. It's not going to change these families, including myself. I'm not doing anything other than talking. So let me not separate myself. It's not going to do anything until it shows up at your door. 24 minutes in is the first knock reference. Then when we're in the gulags, then, yeah, we might think of it a little bit differently. All Safe says, I know it's the lingo, but I'm just trying to think seriously about court cases like today, which are historic. We are in trouble as a nation, and that isn't a black pill. It's just a fact. That's exactly where I'm at. It's not a black pill. It's not. It's just this is where we're at. And there's no push to do anything. We'll get to that in a second. I'll just do a little bit more of this.
Kind of a lose-lose situation because even if they succeed, by I mean the ones doing this to Trump, then to me, it's like, well, what is this?
Well, understand their motivations. They don't.
However you found this channel, thank you so much. This was just a clip. That's why it ended abruptly. But go to middlemaga.com, put your email in. I'll give you alerts. And visit the member section on YouTube, and you'll find the full, uninterrupted reaction. Appreciate you. Peace.
Middle Maga.